Dear host, dear guests, dear teachers and dear students, we were invited to think about the family gallery in 2015, which is quite near. But first of, before I start, I would like to introduce our group to you. And it was Dorothea, who's standing over there, and Esther and Melinda from the Hungarian University of Design and Art in Budapest, and Lisa and myself, Claudia, from the University of Hildesheim in Germany. And our major fields of study range between design, theory, and cultural studies. So we had a really widespread range on what we can draw on. So we would like to present our ideas to you. So let's start. For the family room, we occupied ourselves with the topic together. And at the same time, we saw together as a topic and as a method. And I would like to explain why. Because together as a topic is a really important part of human being, or of being human. And it's also a very emotional topic. And so you don't have a really high mental level to have a personal approach to it. So it's really close to yourself. And we try to form some subtopics of the topic together. And we try to answer the question, like, why do people get together and what are the efforts of getting together? And our answer is because we want to have relationships, we want to gain power, we want to have creation or exchange. These are the topics we worked on, and together as a method we thought about activities actually. Because being together means always to play together, to laugh, to be laughing, eating, working and so on. But we didn't only think about activities, we also thought about actors, like who's doing these activities together. And we thought that together with the objects, together with the visitors, with different communities, you can create a contact zone in Gothenburg dealing with global issues and have an exchange via the web. And by doing so, I'm sorry I can't really pronounce it, but I will try. The World Culture Museum becomes part of an exchange network and therefore will allow a lot of participation. And having this in mind, we would like to present you some ideas for the exhibition space. And our point of view is that the objects that you have in your collection are physical material and therefore the potential to start a conversation with all those actors and create this exchanging network. And we really would like to get the people personally connected with your objects. So we try to collect some ideas. Working with your collection, we found a lot of relational objects. And we chose the puppets as an example to show you how great they work to reflect the topic and the method of being together. These puppets are made of paper and different colors, and they has these wooden sticks so you can play with it. They can be moved. So, in conclusion, the form of the puppets follows their function, and the function is to bring people together. These puppets are made for playing, to tell stories, to remember history, or even just have fun together. So we found a lot of relational objects in your collection, like music instruments or those cooking utensils. But we've chosen puppets to just tell you our ideas. We would like to introduce our idea that you could start your exhibition with an experiment room with the puppets, where you can create your own puppets, where you can play with the puppets, tell stories with the puppets or even listen to the stories the puppets have had in their own life. Like, where was this puppet made, or where did it travel during his lifetime? And as you maybe can imagine, these activities are strongly connected with our 7 topics I presented at the beginning, like you can see in colored circles. To give an example, if puppet traveled around the world, it's linked to this word exchange, like there was an exchange by traveling around. So, and we have another idea concerning the method of being together, like working in a network and have a lot of participation. We had the idea to invite art schools that could create a few puppets for the exhibition, or even in a workshop together with the children to create the puppets to play with. And then you could invite a theater group that's going to play with the puppets together with the children and make a play out of it. So the children can have a really personal connection to the puppets. Let's go to the exhibition space. And here you can see your 3rd floor, if you recline it. And this is the exhibition space for the family room. And in the middle you can see the experimental room with the puppets. But of course you are able to change the objects, like I mentioned, the instruments or the cooking utensils. So it can change over the years. And around the experimental room you can see those icons, and they represent every of our 7 subtopics. Like we have here exchange around the world, and relationships, and so on. And we had the idea that people could go to the experimental room first, have their own experiences, and try to figure out which perspective or which layer of this object fits them the best. And then they can say, oh, I really like the idea of traveling, or where did my puppet come from? So they could go to the exchange room. Or maybe they are interested in the owner of the puppet or the creator of the puppet. So they are interested in the relationships of a puppet. And then they could go to the relationship room. So we were really concrete in our ideas, so we made up 2 really colorful examples. And Dorota is going to present our 2 ideas for 2 rooms, like the relationship room and the experience room. And now I give the word to Dorota.
So, let me present 2 examples for you. We already selected these from our really several ideas. These examples could seem more concrete than the first part of the presentation, but we would like to show you our ideas in depth as well. Please let us to suggest you these examples as possibilities. What we have imagined the theme together as fantasy work could be. So the first is the relationship room. We imagined a huge, soft, warm bed to this room, where the families and the visitors can lie there and have a rest or a sleep or talk a bit. And there should be some sounds in the room, and they can listen carefully. And if you listen carefully, you can hear some tales in the room from the walls. And in the walls, there could be some photos from the photo collection about families and about persons in frames. And that's why in these rooms, the family can make their own photo portraits with masks or jewel or costumes or what they prefer. And some replicas of objects could hang down from the ceiling to the space of the room, so that the visitors can touch or examine them. Another example is the experience room. This could be really a natural environment. We imagined it with full of trees and bushes and rocks, and a mysterious atmosphere with some shadows and quiet noises. For example, an animal running or whatever. The whole floor of the museum can be invisible plastic, so this allows you to see the environment continues under your feet. You can see plants, deep trenches and a few lights there down, and you can explore that the environment under you is full of with objects, for example vases or sculptures. This room can be really children friendly because they don't have to focus on the I'm sorry. So they can crawl on the floor. They can do their adventure under. I'm sorry. So it would be a really nice adventure them to achieve their own discoveries easier. And we have another idea, which is not strongly attached to the exhibition, but if you want to achieve some feedback from your visitors, you can maybe put some digital exhibition evaluation terminals to the end of the exhibition. So the visitors can comment and can evaluate the rooms in a digital platform for the map example of the exhibition. And maybe it's a great way to the museum that they can react by workshops to these visitors. How can we change, or how can they change these rooms if the visitors didn't like it? And I would like to make an end with a quote that coming together is a beginning, keeping together is progress, and working together is success. And thank you for your attention.